Welcome to the preview video for UFC 314, which is headlined by Alexander Volkanovski vs Diego Lopes for the vacated featherweight title. We will go over all the fights on this card and find out which UFC fighters are picked the most by the YouTube prediction channels and by which ones. But also which ones are picked the most by the best predictors over the last 10 months and the best underdog and favorite predictors. Plus what the average odds are as of making this video and who is picked most by the Tapology community. So let's get started with the first fight of the night on the early prelims, which is between Nora Cornolle and Hailey Cowan in the women's bantamweight division. Nora is the slight favorite with minus 180 in average odds and Hailey the underdog with plus 145. Although Nora is not a big favorite in odds, she is a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology community and 90% of them predict she will win via decision, making her the biggest favorite in picks by the Tapology community on this card. And we see the same in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 79 out of 87 channels pick Nora to win, or 91% for all the channels, making her again the biggest favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels on this card. The best predictors over the last 10 months also favor Nora to win with 8 out of 10. As a quick reminder, or for those new to the channel, the best predictor channels are highlighted in green. Dark green means they had a 7% or higher return on investment over the past 10 months, while light green means their ROI was below 7%. The best predictors on favorite fighters in odds pick Nora 8 out of 10, and the best underdog predictors have picked the underdog Hailey Cowan 3 out of 11. I also track the best predictors for favorites and underdogs separately. Best favorite predictors have the highest ROI based only on their picks for betting favorites, and best underdog predictors had the highest ROI based only on their picks for underdogs. For a full breakdown of the best predictors, check out the 10 months results video. The second fight of the early prelims is between Tresean Gore vs Marco Tulio in the middleweight division. And Marco Tulio is the big favorite with minus 390 and Tresean Gore the underdog with plus 310. He's also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community and most are predicting he will win via KO TKO. And also most of the YouTube prediction channels think Marco Tulio wins this fight with 76 out of 88 for 86.4%. We see the same with the best predictors and the best favorite predictors. 9 out of 10 and 9 out of 11 pick Marco Tulio. And Tresean Gore, the underdog, is picked by the best underdog predictors 3 out of 11. The next fight is between Sumudaerji and Mitch Raposo in the flyweight division. Sumudaerji is the slight favorite with minus 175 in average odds and with plus 145 Mitch Raposo the underdog. Sumudaerji is also the slight favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 59% and 41% for Mitch Raposo. And most are expecting that this fight will go to the scorecards. 52 out of 86 channels for 60.5% are picking Sumudaerji to win. The best predictors and the best favorite predictors pick Sumudaerji 7 out of 11. But what's most interesting about these picks are the picks by the best underdog predictors, because they have picked the underdog Mitch Raposo 7 out of 12 times, and more than half of them see value in this underdog. The last fight on the early prelims is in the middleweight division between Sedriques Dumas and Michał Oleksiejczuk. Michał is the favorite with minus 200 in average odds and Sedriques Dumas the underdog with plus 160. 74% of the Tapology community predict Michał wins this fight, and if he does, most are expecting him to do so via KO TKO. We see the same result in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 68 out of 89 channels pick Michał to win for 76%. Michał is also the favorite in picks by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors, although a bit lower, with 6 out of 10 of the best predictors and the best favorite predictors 7 out of 11. And only 1 out of 11 of the best underdog predictors have picked the underdog Sedriques Dumas. So most of them don't have faith in Dumas to win this fight. Opening the prelims, we have a fight between Darren Elkins and Julian Erosa in the featherweight division. Julian Erosa is the big favorite with minus 345 and the underdog Darren Elkins with plus 265. Erosa is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 82%, and most are expecting that he will win via decision or submission. He's also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels with 68 out of 86 picking him to win for 79%. 8 out of 10 of the best predictors pick Julian to win, and the best favorite predictors pick Julian 8 out of 11. What about the best underdog predictors? Do they see some value in Darren Elkins? 4 out of 11 of the best underdog predictors have picked Darren Elkins to win, so there might be some value on this underdog. The next fight on this card is in the lightweight division between Chase Hooper and Jim Miller. With minus 885 in average odds, Chase Hooper is a huge favorite and the biggest favorite in odds on this card. 88% of the Tapology community predict that Chase Hooper wins this fight, and if he does, most think he will do so via submission. He's also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 80 out of 90 pick him to win for 89%. But he's not such a big favorite anymore when we look at the best predictors. 7 out of 10 predict that he will win for 70%, and it even gets a little bit lower when we look at the best favorite predictors, because they picked him 7 out of 11 times for 64%. And 3 out of 11 of the best underdog predictors have picked Jim Miller the underdog to win. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful or informative, then don't forget to like this video or subscribe. Thank you so much. The next fight is in the women's strawweight division between Virna Jandiroba and Xiaonan Yan. Virna Jandiroba is the slight favorite with minus 115 average odds and Yan the underdog with plus 125. And this fight is really close in picks by the Tapology community, and Virna is the small favorite with 53% of the picks for her and 47% for Jan. But almost all of them have predicted that this fight will go to the scorecards. Virna Jandiroba is picked a lot more by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 59 out of 88 channels pick her to win for 67%, and most of them give her the edge because of her wrestling. And Virna is also the favorite in picks by the best predictors with 7 out of 11. Of the best predictors on favorite fighters only, Virna Jandiroba is picked 5 out of 10. And only 3 of the 12 best underdog predictors have picked Xiaonan the underdog to win. The last fight of the prelims is between Dan Ige and Sean Woodson in the featherweight division. The favorite is Sean Woodson with minus 175 and with plus 145 Dan Ige the underdog. Although Dan is the underdog, he is the favorite, although a very small one, in picks by the Tapology community, and 51% of them have picked Ige to win, and most of them predict he will win via decision or a KO TKO, and 49% of them have picked Sean Woodson to win, mostly via decision. But the YouTube prediction channels disagree with the Tapology community, and Sean Woodson is a pretty decent favorite with 65 out of 90 channels picking him to win for 72%. But he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors with 9 out of 11 for 82%. The best predictors on favorite fighters have picked Sean Woodson the favorite 7 out of 11. And the underdog Dan Ige is picked 2 out of 12 by the best underdog predictors. Opening the main card, we have a fight in the light heavyweight division between Nikita Krylov and Dominic Reyes. With minus 185, Nikita is the favorite and the underdog Dominic Reyes with plus 150. And just like the previous fight, this fight is really close in picks by the Tapology community. And 51% of them have picked Dominic Reyes to win, and most think he will win via KO TKO, and 49% have picked Krylov to win. And most predict that he will win via KO TKO as well. So this fight and the previous fight are the closest in picks by the Tapology community on this card. Also in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, this fight is really close. But Nikita Krylov is the small favorite with 48 out of 93 channels picking him to win for 51.6%, making this the closest fight in picks by the YouTube prediction channels on this card. However, when we look at the picks from the best predictors over the last 10 months, the results are not so close. And Nikita is the favorite with 8 out of 11 picking him to win. And also the best predictors on favorite fighters pick Nikita 7 out of 11. And the underdog Dominic Reyes is picked by the best underdog predictors 5 out of 12. Want to stay ahead with the latest picks, odds and stats for all fights while supporting the channel? Consider becoming a Buy Me a Coffee member or a Patreon supporter. After this video, every Friday and Saturday I update the latest stats with newly added picks from all UFC prediction channels, the best predictors and the most profitable favorite and underdog predictors. Updated odds, track how the betting lines shift daily. Tapology stats, see if the MMA community's picks are changing. Support the channel and get exclusive daily updates. Links are in the description. I'd really appreciate it. The next fight is in the featherweight division between Yair Rodriguez and Patricio Pitbull. With minus 200 in average odds, Yair is the favorite and Pitbull with plus 165 the underdog. Rodriguez is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 71%, and most are predicting he will win via decision. We see the same results in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 64 out of 92 channels pick Rodriguez to win for 70%. However, when we look at the best predictors over the last 10 months, they pick Patricio Pitbull 8 out of 11 times, making him a pretty decent favorite. The favorite Jair Rodriguez is picked by the best favorite predictors 6 out of 11. And the best underdog predictors pick Patricio Pitbull the underdog 7 out of 12. Up next we have another fight in the featherweight division between Bryce Mitchell and Sean Silva. With minus 260 in average odds, Sean Silva is the favorite, and with plus 205, Bryce Mitchell the underdog. Silva is the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 77%, and most are expecting that he will win via KO TKO. Silva is even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 80 out of 93 predict that he will win for 86%. And Silva is picked by the best predictors 11 out of 11 for 100%, and the same with the best favorite predictors, also 100%. And the underdog Bryce Mitchell is picked by the best underdog predictors 2 out of 12. For the co-main event of the evening, we have a 5-round fight between Michał Chandler and Paddy Pimblett in the lightweight division. With minus 150 in average odds, Paddy Pimblett is the slight favorite and Michał Chandler the underdog with plus 125. In picks by the Tapology community, this fight is pretty close, and Paddy Pimblett is the slight favorite with 54%, and most of them are predicting he will win via submission. And 46% pick Michał Chandler to win, mostly via KO TKO. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, Paddy Pimblett is the favorite, with 60 out of 95 predicting he will win for 63%. In picks by the best predictors, Paddy Pimblett is even a bigger favorite, with 8 out of 11. The best predictors on favorite fighters pick Paddy Pimblett the favorite, 7 out of 11. And the best underdog predictors have picked the underdog Michał Chandler, 5 out of 12. The last fight of this card is of course the main event between Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes for the vacated featherweight title. And this fight is the closest in average odds on this card, with minus 130 for Alexander Volkanovski, making him the slight favorite, and with plus 105 Diego Lopes the underdog. In picks by the Tapology community, it's not so close, and 67% of them predict Volkanovski wins, and most expect him to win via decision. And 33% of them have picked Lopes, and most of them predict he will win via KO TKO. But when we look at the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube, they go against the Oddsmakers and the Tapology community, and Diego Lopes is the favorite, although a small one. 52 out of 93 channels predict Diego Lopes wins for 56%. However, in picks by the best predictors, Diego Lopes is not a small favorite but a big favorite, and 9 out of 11 of the best predictors over the last 10 months pick him to win. The favorite in odds, Alexander Volkanovski, is picked by the best favorite predictors 2 out of 11. And the underdog, Diego Lopes, is picked by the best underdog predictors 8 out of 12, making him again a pretty decent favorite. So, who do you think are right on this one? The Tapology community and the Oddsmakers, or the YouTube Prediction Channels? Who do you have winning the title this weekend? Let us know in the comments. Which fighters might be the best betting opportunities on this card? The first potential good betting opportunity is Patricio Pitbull. With plus 165 in average odds, he is the underdog. But in picks by the best predictors, he is the favorite with 8 out of 11. And he is also the favorite in picks by the best underdog predictors with 7 out of 12. The next one is Sean Silva. He is the favorite with minus 260, but all of the best predictors and the best favorite predictors are predicting that Silva wins this fight. And the last potential best betting opportunity is another underdog in Diego Lopes, although a small one with plus 105 in average odds. Even though he is the underdog, 9 out of 11 of the best predictors think he will win this fight. And also the best underdog predictors have picked him 8 out of 12 times to win. Hope you enjoyed this overview of all the fight picks. If you found it helpful, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel while getting exclusive updates, consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a member on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much for watching, have an awesome weekend, enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next video.